Welcome to Dr. Jester Rants, and I'm gonna rant about this. Well, apparently we are gonna get more shit on Hollywood again. Bounding into comics. The Suicide Squad director, James Gunn, voices his support for race-bending characters. I absolutely 100% hate this. Mostly because, as you know, I hate when they change the original character. It breaks immersion, at least for me it does. And for instance, sometimes they change the race of a character to make it look Latino. And I absolutely find that extremely racist, mostly because they think that we should get scrap rolls or, oh, we are giving you a tiny little hand, look, you're gonna get this role, look, I present it to you. Aren't you happy that we, the white saviors, are helping you? Oh... At least that is what it feels like when they do this. It's absolutely horrible. I don't care. I don't care the reason behind gender or race swapping a character. I do not give a shit, nor do I want an alphabet washing character. I do not want anything. I want the original character as it was envisioned by its creator. For instance, I don't want a white Blade. Fuck that. I want my Blade as black as it comes, as black as the character in the comic box. I don't want a I don't want a white Black Panther. I don't want it. I want it as is, as the character is shown on the comic box. I even ragged and added to my list, as you can see here, the moment they actually do and pull that shit. I absolutely 100% hate it here, but it's absolutely very, very rare. This one I forgot to actually add the year it came out, but that's the last one that we saw a race-bending character from, say, from any other race to white. As you can see here, this is the only time, these are the only times you actually can claim that it became whitewash. Everything else, as according to my list, this one I'm maintaining myself, has had the change from white to black, so to whatever other race. And in fact, in most of the situations happens with male to female. For instance, here, as you can see, there are only 3 instances, at least in the last, 20 years or so, in which this happened, in which the female went to become a male. But here, for instance, the last one to come out, it becomes fairy godmother, and it became, well, as you can see here, wait. Here it is. Fairy godmother. It became what? Alphabet washing. They made the fairy godmother become a black male, but a gay black male. For fuck's sake. It's just absurd. They keep changing things that are not there just to give scrap rolls. But the worst, and I mean the worst offenders, are around here. You can see the size of this list in blackwashing. I mean, these are all characters that once used to be, for instance, rarely, but it used to be Asian, but in most cases here are whites or redheads and became, well, blacks, as you can see here. Look at this. I absolutely fucking hate it. Respect the rules, respect the characters, respect the content material. If you're not going to respect the material you are borrowing from to make your goddamn filthy movie, at least create something different. As in, instead of a race-bending Batman, do a favor, create another hero that is a black male and or a black woman, create another hero and make a movie about that. Don't borrow from Batman, race or gender swap it and call it Batman. Go fuck yourself if you think that's actually a good idea. Gunn discussed a Hollywood's penchant for switching ethnicities or race-bending comic characters, a phenomenon that saw to the revamping of Nick Fury and now Jim Gordon in Batman for female audiences, notwithstanding Marvel Ultimates has supporting the Suicide Squad director James Gunn. Gunn discussed his position in response to an Instagram comment made under a photo posted by the director in honor of actor Idris Elba, who plays Bloodsport in the film. I hate it. In the comment, the fan opined, okay, the English here is not good. That Elba might have nailed it, but I can't help but think Tom Selleck would have been perfect for the role, to which Gunn replied that Tom Selleck is 75 years old and white, so what? Would have been an unusual casting. Okay, fine, 75 years old. Find a younger... Okay, so in that case, I think I might have to add this entry to the list. Oh, God, more updates to the list. I actually don't like doing it, but someone has to do it. In response to Gunn's comment, one fan began debating the merits of race bending with another fan and stated that Gunn should make new black comic book characters or bring back old ones. Making white characters black isn't solving the problem. I 100% agree. It is not solving the problem, it's actually making it worse. You're saying that the blacks are incapable of having their own characters beginning from scratch. You're saying that a character cannot become popular if they are black or a woman or gay or whatever alphabet you want to call it. That's what you're telling them. You're telling them that a Latino character cannot become famous or popular because they're Latino. No, go ahead and create your own character, your own content. Stop taking old stuff from pre-established lore and change it to become something they are not. I absolutely hate it when they claim they take a white character or even a redhead and then make it Latino. I absolutely feel insulted by it because it's telling me, you're not good enough to have your own character. Let's take the secondary character or this other character and make it your race. Don't you feel included? That's what it feels like when dealing with these people. They are so out of touch with reality that it's absurd. They are kind of like, well, Marie Antoinette and Nancy Pelosi. Mostly the Democrats too. And, well, the aristocratic. Yeah. Alright, they make a new black comic book characters and bring back old ones, making white characters black ones and solving the problem. I'm on your side, man, and I think there should be more black superheroes, but when you start taking white superheroes and change the race and gender for the sole purpose of being diverse, it's just kinda sad. I 100% agree with everything he said here. In fact, we need another black superhero, kind of like Spawn. We haven't seen a movie about it in a very long time, and I'm dying to see another movie about Spawn. I'm a huge fan of Spawn, to a point that I still have the comic book #1 from Spawn, and it's one of my most cherished comic books. I absolutely love the comic book. I love Spawn, and you're going to say, because he's not... No. It's even if I love it, not because he's black or anything, it's because he doesn't... Fuck it. Gunn then responded by informing the fan that race swapping was done because 95% of all superheroes have historically been white. Oh, it makes sense as we start adapting them to film in a modern era that some characters were originally white become another ethnicity to more accurately reflect our world. No, dude! If you're going to do it, there are dozens and hundreds, dozens and dozens of characters, for instance, in Marvel, that the hero is a black. Or if not, Do what they originally did in Arrow, create a new character. Spartan wasn't a comic book character. They created it specifically for the show. And the actor nailed it. It's one of my favorite characters in Arrow. He absolutely nailed it. And then they go on and ruin it in subsequent seasons and the other series like Flash, and they end up race swapping and gender swapping. They nailed it in the beginning, but then they screwed around everything else. Good God. I mean, I would absolutely love buying a comic book about Spartan. I in fact even encourage it, because I think it would be a great character to read about and maybe even make a new series, Spartan. But at least keep it like the first season of Arrow, as in you respect the content, the material, don't actually change any races, don't alphabet wash things or other stuff. Make the series Spartan. I'll cling to that series and watch it like a crazy meth adult addict. After meth, someone who's a meth addict who hasn't had meth in a long time and is craving for meth. That's how much I would watch that series. But no, they cannot do it. They cannot do it because they need to visual signal, and by visual signaling, they need to be more racist. The fan would then ask, why not start creating new black superheroes? I feel like that would help diversify superheroes even more so. I agree. Than just taking white ones and making them black for no reason other than make them a different color. Visual signaling. The Black Panther did great right from the get-go, and I'm sure that there's more old superheroes that were different ethnicities. I agree. This would prompt a lengthy response from Gunn, who began by stating that people aren't making movies about unknown superheroes. Dude, make it! People will love it! Make it different, something that it's not the standard. Just because you're going to race swap something, people don't like it. I'm pretty sure quite a few black people will actually feel praised or loved that they are taking scrap roles, or that they are receiving a role that used to be white, so you get to visual signal. But I think most of them, at least when they do it on my race, I feel particularly insulted. I absolutely could not swallow the race and gender swapped ancient wand from Doctor Strange. Why they did that? To actually appease the fucking Chinese. Because they could not have an ancient one because it comes from Tibet. That's the reason. Okay, I forgot to actually switch the screens, but it doesn't matter. This would prompt Gunn then put forth a rhetorical question, asking FN, what is it, if not racism, that David Ayer for casting Will Smith as Deadshot and John Watts for casting Zendaya as Mary Jane? I absolutely hate it. Got thousands of times more shit for those choices than it did for making Drax and Mantis aliens instead of humans in Guardians. Smith, I'm not. As long as he just happens to be black and not like Floyd. Oh no, he's not. He just picked a better person for. No, that's complete bullshit. You're actually actively looking for a specific people to fill that in. Of a specific color. Gunn then emphasizes that in most cases these are great casting choices. No, they're not. And further supported his stance on personality by noting that Will Smith is like Floyd in the books. Look, Will Smith is one of my goddamn favorite actors. He pretty much nails everything he touches. But I am sorry, he played it really well for that shot in Suicide Squad, but I am sorry, it just doesn't fit the character. You get a suspension of belief. You don't feel like you are, you don't feel immersed on the content. It just doesn't feel like it. It's not right. I am sorry. I really am. I think Will Smith is one of the best actors out there in Hollywood. I even have a few CDs of his music stored in my room, and I admit it, I like them. Yes, I do like it, and I'm a huge fan of his work. In fact, I love what he did in Wild Wild West. In fact, that one is also a race-swapped role, but still, it's actually kind of great. He did it. He did it really well. It would have been better if it was a white character, so it fits with the original content. But he is still a great actor, and he did well on his acting. I'm just judging him based on the acting there, not on the role or things that ended up being changed from the original content. However, the supporting reasons for Gunn's stance are not simplistic and clear-cut as presented, though Drax and Mantis' MCU backstories do depart from their comic origins. Gunn is a little off base when it comes to Mary Jane, as Zendaya does not play the role of Mary Jane Watson, but rather a new character who fills the archetype of Peter Parker's love interest. The character's initial being MJ is a slight nod to this fact. More notably, race swapping is not a signature move in Gunn's filmmaking arsenal, as the most of the changes he has made to establish lore. Usually, origin stories always have some basis in source material. Save Peter Quill's relation to Ego, the living planet in Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 2. Okay, let's keep doing, because it seems there is a lot of read for them. Although casting Will Smith as Deadshot may paralyze fans, it was undoubtedly a popular decision. As can be seen by Suicide Squad, WB did not recast Smith's role when scheduling conflicts prevented him from appearing in the film, effectively keeping the role of Floyd Lawton warm for whenever Men in Black and Gemini Man star chooses to return. Men in Black were also, Will Smith also did a race swap on his character, but still, he acted great. In fact, I'm even going to go forward, he was my favorite part of Men in Black. And then, don't even come to tell me that racist, no? If I were Will Smith's character, Jay, in Men in Black, wouldn't have been my favorite, and in fact, it was my favorite character in there because of his acting. He's great. Obviously, because of the race swapping, it doesn't reach the 100% awesomeness that I want, but he goes really there because he's a very, very, very good actor. And I don't know, people should actually try to respect the original content of the comic books. You know what? Make Black Panther with Will Smith. Dude! Huh. I'll pretty much buy everything from Black Panther from there on forth, because goddamn Will Smith fucking rules. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you on my next video. Good night.